Hi, I'm Nicole and this is Dusty Book Sniffers and I'm out in the big wide world again. Still more construction happening up at my place, and today we are here to talk all things Robin Hobb and the Assassin's Quest. So let's get started. Well, good morning or good evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for taking some time out of your day and spending it with me while I am in the great outdoors in downtown Kingaroy. I'm at my local park. You may be able to hear some of the kids yelling and screaming at this local school over there, but I'm here to talk all things Robin Hobb. I have finished it. I have finally finished book 3. I read this in 2 sittings. Basically, I just took a day and read the first half, and then I put it down and went back to it a couple of weeks later. I absolutely love this series. I am super excited to move on to the next 3 books of Robin Hobb's, which is, I think, is the Ship Trader series. I've already got them on my bookshelf, so they're ready to go. I won't be starting them until the new year, but there is 838 pages of goodness in this book. It's following on where we left off in book 2, and Fitz is still on the hunt to find Verity. He has been injured, and he is, for the most part, they're talking about him being, in the first part, he's recuperating up in the hills, and I don't think the Queen actually knows he's there yet or whatnot, but Starling, the minstrel, she knows that he's there, or finds out that he's there. She's still on a quest to find her song, and thinks it's going to be about Fitz and or possibly the Fool. And yeah, so we've got a few other characters playing along as well. And basically, yeah, it just follows along. I don't really want to give too much away because I know that there's several people who watch my channel that have not read this yet, or are only up to book 2. And so I don't want to give too much away. I am giving it a 4-star rate, because I just fell into this story and absolutely loved it. Now, this book does answer a lot of questions that I had from, like the forging and, you know, the backstories and all that sort of stuff. It's very much still a political fantasy, and based around a royal family and all that sort of stuff. Regal, I just wanted to stab. He's an ass. I don't like him at all. And I'm still on the fence about Starling, because she does some questionable things in the book as well. The Queen, I felt really sorry for her and how her story played out. Verity and Fitz still have that connection, and there was a lot of sad moments in here for Fitz, like for him regarding Molly. And I don't know whether I said this or not, so this may be a little bit of a spoiler. In the last book, we found out that Fitz actually had a daughter, and Barrett and Molly are together, living together. They're not together, but they're living together. And so he's helping her look after Fitz's daughter, and so he's pining for her and wanting to go to them, but it's not safe for him to go to them, and so he's really upset about that. And quite frankly, so was I, because after everything he's endured in this book, in this series, you know, doesn't he deserve a break to go and be with his daughter and the woman that he loves? But anyway, it doesn't turn out that way, because he is still very much a Kingsman, and he still has to find Verity because they have to defeat Regal. How it all finished, like, again, it's very lengthy, and there was a lot of descriptiveness in this, and probably didn't really need it because we had a lot of it in the first books anyway. We sort of know and were set up for it and whatnot. But I don't think this book would be the same book without it, to be honest. As much as I didn't want it in there, it's in there for a reason, and it's just turned out really, really well. I loved how it ended. A lot of questions, as I said. I had a lot of questions in the other books and whatnot, like what forging was and all this sort of stuff. All this has been answered now. You know, the mythology or the legend behind the elderlings and all that sort of stuff was explained as well, because that was a little bit, I found in the other books, a little bit airy-fairy. No one really knew anything about them and stuff like that. That was my feeling anyway, but I felt that this book really tied it all up in a nice little bow. That there's still some things that I want to know, you know, about, you know, where they end up, and, you know, does Fitz come back into it? And like, if I look at the list of books, I know that he comes back into it in future episodes, in editions and whatnot, but I don't know if he's in the next lot or not. So I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at any reviews on it. Chatter, the Mad Oh, I'm terrible with names. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I will link it across the bottom here, who I'm talking about. She has just read the ship one, and she was talking about it. I had to fast forward on her video the other day, so on her wrap up. So I haven't looked at anybody's reviews or anything like that for any of these books because I'm in the process of reading them. Would I read this one again? Most definitely. This would be definitely a series that I would come back to. At first, I wasn't really sure. Like the first book, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to continue because I just felt really confused by it all. But Robin Hobb has done a fabulous job of explaining everything. By the time we got to the end, this one here, I felt a lot more comfortable with how she wrote the stories, her storylines, her characters, how they developed. It was just a really good, well-rounded book for me. I'm sure there'll be people out there that don't agree with me on that. And when I'm saying book, I'm also now talking about the 3 books because you can't talk about one without talking about the others. And the overall feeling that this book gives me is perfect to the end of the trilogy. As I said, I learned a lot more in this book about who is who in the zoo, for lack of a better term, you know, what forging is, what is all happening. And I've been told that the next 3 books in the ship trader series, the Life Ship Trader series, is really good as well. So I'm looking forward to reading those. But as I said, I'm going to leave that until next year. I'd say I will pick them up. There was a couple of moments in here. The one with Fitz when I think it's Starling comes to the door looking for Tom, which is Fitz. So the Fool is so Fool and Fitz are in this scene, and Starling's come in. Now Fitz has been injured and he's recuperating, so no one knows he's there, and he's going as Tom, Tom the Shepherd, and and basically Kettle and Starling, I believe, come to the door. And Kettle is a new character that's come in at the beginning of this book, or at the end of last book. They've sort of bled into one another now. The story has just, it's that complete that I can't tell between the last 2 books, definitely not. So basically, Starling and Kettle have turned up at the door. They're looking for Tom, who is Fitz, and he's recuperating, and the Fool has answered the door and is basically saying, no, he's not here, or you can't see him, and they're not happy about it. And then he slams the door in. He goes, oh, there's something else I want to show you. So they actually haven't seen him because he's in the other room, and they know that he's the Fool is the toy maker now, and so he's saying that I go by the toy maker, and then he goes, there's something else I want to show you, just step back. And they take a step back, and then he slams and latches the door, and then he proceeds to say he wanted to show them the outside of his door. I painted it myself. Do you like it? Just the way it was written just cracked me up. And I was sitting there just laughing because I could just see that play. That would be something that I would do if I wanted to get rid of someone. Slam the door in their face, latch it, and go, do you like the outside of my door? I painted it myself. That was just so funny. So I've given it a 4-star rating, and the series overall, I've actually given it a 4.5-star rating because, and I don't think, without that 3rd book and all the explanations and everything, I don't think I would have got to that. It's not a 5-star rating for me because it is so wordy, and there are some things that could have been left out that we didn't really need to hash over. So yeah, so basically that's why it's gone down a little bit, but that is my rating for it. I absolutely loved it. I just want to say thank you to all those that encouraged me to pick up these books, because I have been so not intimidated. I just didn't want to pick them up because they were so lengthy and there were so many of them. But I see now that you can read them as 3 at a time. So that's going to make it a little bit easier to get through. And I'm looking forward to reading more of her works in 2023. But that is it for me today. If you've made it this far, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it. And then that way you're not going to miss out on any of my future bookish uploads. And as always, keep turning those pages, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.